Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carolyn Zaiser. I'm a channel, a distance energy healer, and a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these videos for you so you can take more puzzle pieces away, hopefully, for the puzzle of your own journey. So today, Jennifer and I are having a conversation. She wanted to make sure that we got together to share this information with you that came out of this conversation. And you're going to see when we get to the end how this turned into a very unexpected conversation, I will say, and also how it turned into a 360-degree again conversation. Where we start, we end up, but it's quite interesting how that happens. Additionally, as many of you know from the information I provided previously, Jennifer's son has autism. And you will see something pretty special here where, as I believe, he was participating. Anyway, that said, this really focuses on the topics of rewilding ourselves, which you'll understand more about as we have our discussion together. Additionally, we are talking about the idea of surrender and about the pace of these times that we are in. This is all tied together. And our conversation hits on all of this. You're going to see how information starts to flow in for us through various methods. And then I'm offering that as a part of our conversation. So it's a really dynamic conversation. I think you'll enjoy it and certainly walk away with a few pieces of additional information. As I always say, take what resonates, toss the rest aside, and I will send you over to our conversation now and wrap up with you in the end. Enjoy. So I know you want to talk about something. You had mentioned you wanted to get together to share things
Yes.
with people, and that's why I wanted to try to do this soon. But I think we're in a time right now. It's just really critical. I don't.
There's some very important things going on right now that are there's a lot of it's revisitation. However, there's concepts that are different. So like that's what you're saying when I say critical time, yes, because even if you've already done this before and feel like, okay, I know how to do this, it's going to take a new concept, a new approach,
Yes.
because you see that it's looping.
And a new energetic is what I'm getting. Because, of course, I focus
Yes,
on the energy. A new, like a frequency raise is what I keep getting.
yes, and there's more. There's more too. So there's a couple of things, like I don't know if you ever like done a detox where you experience like all the sicknesses you've ever had in your life. If you do like an
Oh,
intense detox in order backward, because it's eating through the biofilm in your body where that stuff kind of stays. And so it eats through the biofilm and you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that as it comes off. And it's almost like going down the ladder of sickness
well, that makes sense.
and having a little bit of it each time as it pulls it out of the biofilm and clears it out. So it's a little bit of like that's a feel of it too. Like I've already done this. I've already done kind of, and so this perpetual or ongoing looping healing is not necessary. It needs to be recognized for what it is. So you're not stuck in this, oh, I'm still healing. No, you're not. This is but I thought this guy that you actually had, I think he came into my feed because you are in as attached to mine and in Instagram. That Zach Bush, I think his name is Zach
Oh
Bush.
yeah, I use his gut product. I am really I'm really feel connected to him because he's awakened. You can tell that. I mean,
He's very, yeah, totally. And he
very
is,
awake.
yeah, MD, so he's got kind of the uh, medical as well as the physiological, as well as the esoteric or the metaphysical, and all of the different things. He has that knowledge, and he has it so well
Oh yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
yeah, you listen to him and he's like this, go this way. It's like
Oh yeah.
it's almost completely different. It's perfect. I heard him say something the other day, and I'm like, man,
Uh-huh.
nobody else is talking like this. And I'm like, you nailed it. This is exactly how I feel. And he talks about something called rewilding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And that Oh goodness. And send a voicemail. Sorry about that. I need to fix
Okay.
my phone so it doesn't do
That's
that
fine.
on the call. Um, Rewilding. Okay, so the concept of rewilding is you want to talk like returning to your roots. It's almost it's radical.
It is. And I've
Uh,
been feeling this. It's really bizarre because I've been, and it's nuanced, but it aligns with what he's talking about.
it's
It,
so
it's
important.
part, it's like, how do I want to explain this? Parts, well, the desire to be out in nature and but differently, like living in it, or is
It's
there something
almost
going
a
on with
uh,
that?
it's almost like an unlearning or rejection of
Yes.
everything that we have put upon ourselves
Yes.
to be the more if we might want to call it civilized or in a like a human socialization, this kind of stuff, but it's actually it's very phony, it's insincere, right? The way that we communicate with each other is not because we've introduced so much language rather than energy exchange. It's very superficial and it's very phony, and we put on a lot of masks. How will they feel? What is right? What am I supposed to do? You curtsy here, you shake a hand here. You know, it's like all this stuff you have to do in order to be a social being in the human society. It's very, um, it's really sad, actually, what we've kind of done to ourselves. So his idea is almost like a radical rejection. It's not even like the healing of it. We're not healing it. We're actually like rejecting it completely and allowing the innate or soul to express,
Mhm.
right? And in
Kind
that,
of
it
like just ripping off a Band-Aid.
take the whole thing and throw it. I mean, really, it's really the way he is,
He is.
like it everything. He's saying like, don't mow your yard. He was even like saying things like this. I was laughing. I'm like, it does apply to almost every single thing. He's
Yeah.
like, just don't mow your yard. You know how many more different types of grasses and things that we've like genetified or geneticided out of everything will just start to reappear. He's like saying, like, let it grow wild, let it overgrow, let it all go, and let it just all of the expectations of everything.
Mhm.
And you know, he was even, you know, from your grass to everything, right? He's talking about it like it. And I'm like, you know what? This is what is really hard. You know, talk about, you know, we're always saying we're trying to do everything we need to do to make this happen. Light workers, they call themselves light workers. They're working, they're like focused on it, they're living for this thing to happen. And I think I've come to this conclusion too about all this work, and it never seems to be done, and it keeps looping. I'm saying I've come to this conclusion too that I don't think that that's right. I don't think there is work. I think that there is loops, and those loops just need to be crashed and thrown away, and not, you know, if you were healing, it would have been done by now,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it's like it's part of the program almost, the healing, the true authenticity of yourself at your purest level is not a super civilized, grown, responsible acting adult so much as it is your wild kid, right? Your
Right.
wild child.
Yes.
And that kind of, that is not something that you can like relearn really,
A
or
wild child in a healthy way, though, is what I'll say.
it
Okay.
is. It's not the
Because
out of
when we think
control
about wild
child.
child, we don't think of it
No,
like that. We're
no.
talking,
From the perspective of an uptight adult, a wild child, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
nope,
your wild child that is uh,
within the wilderness, within,
untamed. Your
yep,
untamed
exactly.
wild child, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and it doesn't. It may sound like a crazy, you know, like a dirty kid raised by wolves. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more of the, what is that story, that old movie where those two young kids were somehow abandoned on an island, and they only had each other to grow up with.
Oh,
Do you
I don't
remember
know.
this movie?
I don't.
It was Brooke Shields and somebody
Oh,
is.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. What
Do you
was that?
remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
And
Yeah.
they were almost unadulterated, completely unadulterated. There's no outside. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You're innocent wild child. You know what I mean? It's not
You're innate. It's like that innateness. And
yes.
what I've got brought through recently in the last couple months, they've really wanted to talk a lot about this needing for humans to come back, like Earth needs us. We need to come back. We're that missing link in that sense,
Yeah.
'cause we're part of this whole journey, and to really embed ourselves back into that.
Well,
And
I think it's
we've been
looked
so disconnected.
we look at some of this stuff as being weak, I think, like not being able to defend ourselves, for instance, or survive in this environment. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that idea. However, I think the actual shift, and I mean the shift that means either shift or die. Okay. I mean, it's you got to make the shift or you're not going to go. We're not going to squeak by. We're not going to massage it kind of like this. We're not going to think our way into the next one. It is radical,
It is.
break it down so hard that the energy of that can get in and become what it was supposed to be. And we don't have a concept of what it was supposed to be anymore. So we can't think our way to it because we don't even know what it is anymore. And the only way to get there is like to almost break it down to when we were unadulterated as that energy. And you have to do almost just total deconstruction and it's gone. And it doesn't mean you return to something that is weak or doesn't know. It's the opposite of that.
Okay, but let me
turn to
ask you
something
this.
that is all knowing
Right.
almost.
So one of the questions will be, like lately, this is what I'd be thinking is, how do you do that? Is this just a natural process of the awakening journey that happens, or which I know for a lot of us it kind of is, but not fully. Like what? I guess
I
that's
think the
what I'm saying.
only way to do it, Carolyn, to be totally blunt, is to acknowledge that you have not figured out, but you know that that exists. And then you have to totally surrender to it, no matter what it means, totally surrender to whatever it has to be done will be done. And I probably won't have a freaking clue.
Whatever will be brought your way with respect to that.
It might just,
acknowledge it. Yeah.
yes. And I think it will be easier, so to speak, if you just so surrender to it completely.
So what's the acknowledgement in that sense? Like if people are saying, well, then what do I acknowledge?
I think it's the recognition of that energy that is maybe what you consider primal.
I just heard the mother energy.
Maybe, yeah.
Like connected into earth, that whole earth thing idea.
Yes, yes. It's the energy. I mean, it's kind of, it is your primal energy. It is the energy that knows. It is the energy that doesn't put you out to figure it out because it's specific in its intelligence. And it doesn't ask that part of you. It asks you to be wild in your exploration because in the sense you think about it from a creator or a mother aspect, if you want to like utilize that energy, what would you really want if you wanted to support separation to go and have an experience? You wouldn't want them to just go and be safe in the sense of all the stuff we already know, right?
You know what they
you
just
would want
gave
them
me?
to go and do something that would expand their mind so much that would make them think different, do different, create different, right?
So I'll just give you real quick, interject this real quick for you. The visual they're giving me is a vision quest of what the Native Americans used to do. I don't know anything about that, but the vision quest.
Yes.
And breaking it all down, like breaking that down.
Yeah, and it's really like these things where you surrender to like the vision quest, you surrender to the I forget to the quest. You don't dictate anything.
Yes.
You just totally surrender to it. You don't even know where you're going or when it'll start. You surrender
to
it and it
happens.
happens.
I mean, that's kind of the awakening journey when it comes on strong.
Mhm.
When you fight it, it just gets worse. And when you surrender into that energy and that flow, but it's a similar kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I think it's really getting critical because
It is. And I don't even know how to put that into context, but I just feel it.
it's I don't want to like say it like, but it almost is. It's almost like the breaking down to the level of like uh, you don't care anymore. You know how hard it is to break a human down to that plane. You
Okay,
know,
I'm going to give you another little interjection here because I have lately, over the last month or two, run into like two or three people, and I'm feeling it a little bit too. And I've said it to myself. Like, I literally ran into a gal who we had talked about getting together, and she's so funny. She does this work too, and I just love her. But anyway, we haven't seen each other in ages. She said, and then I saw her a second time, and I said, yeah, we talked about getting together. And she goes, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. She goes, and we're getting together with somebody else. She goes, I just don't care. I don't care anymore. And I go, oh my God, thank you for saying that. I said, because there's that sense of me of that's how I feel. And like,
yeah,
I don't care. Like there's a lot of I don't care, but it's not caring from a heart space of empathy and all that. It's a I don't care to it's hard to explain. But
yeah,
yes, there's the I don't care. Does that
yeah.
energy?
Well, it's a funny it is a totally I don't care energy. There's a couple of them too. It's like I don't care about any connections except to myself. So,
Yes.
and that's kind of where the way this has happened for me in a lot of ways was feeling like I lost myself.
Mhm.
And I thought if this is how I am in whatever's happening here, I want it because I love myself. I love the way I feel, right? Even though I like all the luxuries and everything else of being human, and I jump through all the hoops of having kids and all that stuff, none of it matters anymore because I can't feel myself. And I'm like, what? It almost feels like it fell away or got lost somehow. And I think that actually that's not it. I think that it is here so intensely that if your body almost cringes to it if you're not totally open to it. So I think it pulls away and you feel that, and then you stop caring about everything else because, or at least I did, because I don't feel that part of me.
Yes.
That maybe I was only letting a little bit of it in before. I don't feel that part of me anymore. And I said, I don't find things worth doing, worth living, worth being without that part of me. And maybe that energy came in full storm and I only had it this big and I went, ow, and I closed it. Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel any.
Yeah.
And that now I'm like, I don't care about anything at all
But
because that's
maybe that's
not there anymore.
maybe that has to happen to release all the things we're attached to.
I think so. I think it's
Oh,
either
I
going
just
to
got chills.
crack you open or
Yes.
you're going to close and it's not going to be able to get in at all, right?
Yeah.
So it's I feel like I got a fire hose of it, like you're right, significant, and my physical body through pain kind of backed up. However, and again, you and I, we've talked about this too, is I kind of feel the collective. So I feel it both ways. I feel like I am the energy that was pointing the fire hose at me as well, right? I feel like I'm both. But the body, my body, and the collective, I think I felt there like, oh my God, I don't think we're ready for that yet. And so I think I experienced that in a really uncomfortable way because I don't mind that energy. I really like it. But my body did not respond to it like I normally would, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's really it's very basic too. It's like the bottom line kind of thing. You're going to get cracked open one way or the other, and
I just
until
wrote that
you,
down. That's so weird you said that. I just wrote cracking open
yeah.
because you said it.
And I think that even if it's a little bit, or even if you were really wide open and it came in and you're like, oh yeah, I can conduit this like a crazy person, right? Because I love the way this feels. But then it hits the collective and you get that collective rebound back to you like, ow, like we're not ready for that. What are you
Yeah.
doing? You're crazy. You kind of get the pushback from the collective, right?
No, I get it. Yes. You feel, yes.
So I think it's a lot of interesting dynamic going on, but I think that's kind of the bottom line is it's a do or die situation right now. We need to do this. It is the best thing for us. It's the only way forward. It is the only avenue for this particular, for our particular group to move forward. It's
So in order to do that, let's just talk real basic stuff. In order to move forward in
Mhm.
that sense, it's the surrender into.
I don't know. We think about it like innate is a
People
good
always
word.
want to know, what do we do? How do I do this? Right, or
That's the thing. You can't
yeah,
figure it out with a
yeah,
mental process.
it
You
is. It's not a
cannot
mental
figure it out.
process. It's
And
an
in
innate,
fact,
natural process
yeah,
that you just have to recognize, I think, and then let be and not fight it. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
it's like radical, do crazy stuff. I mean, even if it doesn't sound very crazy, go out and just go camping and lay under the stars,
That'd be
just
radical for me.
go.
Even though I'm outdoors, I
Not
love
that
being
radical.
outdoors, but I want my bed and my shower at night.
I,
But I love to learn to camp. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. It's just like do things, even get away from anybody who judges you about how you act or what you do or what you would like to do. Like I
Well,
said,
I think we're coming into a real time, per what you just
yeah,
said, where this has to happen because
yeah,
the split is coming. Now, I don't know what that actually looks. Oh, I just got chills. That when we always talk about new Earth, old Earth, and and there are a lot of people that originally thought, there's the new Earth, and I'll say bye to everybody and physically just jump onto that Earth. But no, it's a dimensional frequency, vibrational
it's a little bit like that in the sense that you say there's a split with the new earth and the old earth. Well, I think I look at it more like it's going to be like something that falls off that can't
Yes,
hack it.
yes, exactly.
It's going to diminish. It's going to basically decohere and go away or
Yeah.
reassimilate back into
But it's
itself.
almost like getting on the okay, so the visual metaphor, they just brought it back. The visual they give me always is old Earth, new Earth, Earth, and there's this bridge, right, between the
Yes,
two. It's a cell dividing kind of thing.
kind of, yeah.
What they show is, it's for a way me to be able to explain it to people, right? And what they show is old Earth people running across the bridge to get to the new frequency.
Yes.
That's the collective shifting per what you just said. And what I keep getting now is it's not like it's too late for people. It's not. It's hard to explain, but like that bridge is. They just keep saying like it's dissolving.
The Brit, well, let me tell you,
You know
okay.
what I'm talking about, though? Does that make
Yes, I
sense?
know exactly, but you know what the truth of it is? This big, huge energy that is really the basis of everything is both Earths and everything in between where that bridge is going. And so both of them and the split is part of the big energy because the big energy doesn't know how to do that. But people in their mind and in their body have not been able to um, get out of the fear or the what do I do? What do I do? Mental thing. Is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? I feel like it's this way. And they're doing this go back and forth because I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is they're not supposed to be picking. They're
No.
supposed to be rendering according to the creator that is that huge energy. Just be what it
Be
render, surrender and
and
render.
be and just be.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Use your
And
guidance to move forward. It's not like, oh God, what do I do? I need to make a list of 10,000 things I need to do. No, that's not it at all.
no. So it's all of it. And it's the energy is not mental as much as, even if you have to do stuff to go with some like go to a group that has like they have workshops. Some people are better at this than we are. Remind yourself how to go and be in a wild space and act wild. Sometimes they have like all feminine workshops with their like goddess workshops, or they call
I
them
need to go.
different
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah. I
where
need to go
they
to something like that where I just disco dance all day long.
yeah, they just totally encourage just
No,
letting
right.
whatever is in you that wants to be out with
Shake it out.
no parents or husbands or kids
Yes,
or
yes.
other school moms or any none of that around you at all. You're out, just with, and it's like it allows it to come out of you.
Yep.
And so you can remind yourself at least what it feels like. And then once it kind of gets to the surface, it's not going to go away. So you can come back to all of that crazy business that you have to do as your mom and all this stuff. And it's still going to be there now. It is, I think it's almost like just get it out this far. That's so powerful. You get it out that far, make a little space, It's going to
Right.
crack you open.
Yes.
But I think that it's getting at least that much and surrender to it.
You know
And
what I'm getting? It's
no matter what.
finding the innate wild part of you inside.
Yeah.
It's that part we've suppressed, especially women.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. I mean, and I think that the more that, the further along in this that I've gone, I've been kind of exposing to like the deeper, um, darker parts of some of like the patriarchal and some of this abuse, feminine abuse and stuff, that some of those energies that are kind of like really coming up. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's really getting to those deeper, but it's all part of this rewilding, because the more you've suppressed it, that's what created these dark energies. Okay. These dark things that happen are a result of the suppression of this energy. So that is coming up, and it kind of means some of us are correct enough that that's coming up.
That makes sense.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, but I think that's what it is. And even go out and find them. I know there's a couple of girls I've watched. They're like, they get you back, like open you back up and get all of your like feminine goddess sexual energy rerouted and running through, really expressing again.
So what does that look like? Okay, so we're talking a little bit about the feminine. What's that look like for men? Like, what does that embodying their emotional side?
For the men, it looks like getting hit by a 2x4.
Well, yeah, some of them, right?
Because
like
it might be just my opinion here, but my general feeling, here goes my son. My general feeling is this is going to be delivered through feminine energy.
See, okay, wait. So let's just stop there for a second and unpack that. It's going to be delivered. You said delivered through feminine energy.
Yeah.
What is that? Again, I always go back to, do you get a sense of what that looks like? Do we get a sense of it, or is that again just that energy that will flow to us as we are being?
I think that it flows through us to this particular energetic now, right? This particular part of time where humanity is. The energy that needs to come in is going to flow in through the feminine vessel, mostly. There are some very balanced men.
Yeah.
And then the younger men.
I work with a number of them. They are very balanced. Yes.
Yeah. And then there's the younger children that have come in that are very helpful. The boys that are maybe in their teens and 20s are a lot more oriented to balance.
Yes.
But I think that as far as I guess I would say the same thing to men. They can find the way to get into a space like that would be, and then remember, at least crack a little bit, and then don't think about it, because you won't be able to figure it out with your mind.
And I got to say, women have moved into that, in recent times, into the patriarchal side of things too, though. Yes. So it's not just because you're a woman and because you're a man.
No, it's, again, we say feminine energy.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't necessarily say feminine vessel. I said feminine vessel because ours is made differently and we carry different energies because of our system. And it does have a lot to do with our ideas around reproduction. It's going to be, there's it's a radical switch there too. But that's why I say feminine. I just have a feeling it's coming through feminine.
No, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
When you talk about that, though, it's really interesting. They always give me these visuals. It's almost, it's going to sound funny. It's almost like mom coming in and smacking it along the head. And kid, not. I mean, it's like I see this big feminine energy coming in and going, get your act together, and bam. And I mean, I know that sounds wild, but it's like, and when they come in, though, what I see, the feminine energy is very feminine, but it's very like, we're done with this kind of thing. And it's like, we're going to get socked along the head kind of. Now, that's all metaphoric, right? But it's an energy.
No, but it's true, because that's the thing, we really stereotyped ourselves into what is the soft and this, and then what is but really balanced energy.
So they're really talking about this as an up leveling.
I think so too.
Oh, But it
Even,
might not feel like it at first. This is rich. You know what? Okay, I just got chills. We're going into eclipse season. I don't
yeah.
know the exact dates, but I think it's September. I don't think there are any in October. I could be wrong, and maybe there are. I have no idea. I need to look. But there's something about this part you're talking about here starting to flow in. Is that making any sense to you during this year still?
Sure, it would make sense actually, because a lot of the balance that we attribute to the masculine and feminine balance is sun and the moon.
Oh,
So
right.
some of these things that we
Okay.
say, oh, there's an eclipse, or there's the sun and the moon are interplanets in some
Yeah.
way. My son is really like right here in my face for some reason.
But
Hey,
it might be because he understands what we're talking
I
about.
think so.
I
Usually
think so
that's what
too.
that. But it's a
I'm gonna
masculine
look
and
something
feminine
up here.
balance.
Yep, keep talking. I'm just looking up something.
Sure. I thought,
Mhm.
so you think about this too. I don't know, masculine and feminine balance or sun and the moon. There is a, a remembrance of the way that the planets orbit each other
Mhm.
in our particular solar system, where Earth is in the middle and the sun and the moon are orbiting Earth, and the sun is not in the middle.
Okay. Yes, and I just looked, we got this, I think we should know this, but I should know this, two solar eclipses, one in September, one in October, two lunar, one in September, one in October. So we have these back to back.
Yes.
Yep.
So they're moving and they're almost like dancing, right? What you're saying. That's what I'm saying. The sun and moon are dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that what I think is it looks like a balance, right, between the two, but um I don't know what he's doing now.
No, I know, but I feel like I just have chills. Whenever he talks, I feel like we're getting some information.
Yeah.
Like there's a validation or it's just interesting. Like he knows what we're talking about. Clear.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
So interesting.
But I don't know, what do you think about what did you hear about the solar eclipses that you think would
Well,
play this?
nothing. Yeah, because I haven't done my September energy update. So I haven't connected in yet. I will be doing that next week because I'm going on vacation on the first, so I need to get in. But I guess we could just kind of well, no, per what I said earlier, what I'm getting with that is it is a continued acceleration of what we started to create this year, but to move
Oh,
it into
yeah.
2026. And what I keep getting is April or somewhere, they keep showing me April 2026. I don't know what that means, but there is something we're leading up to and elevating ourselves to that point where that energetic is going to show up. Is what I keep getting. And I don't know, maybe that's not specific enough, but I, get a lot of specific. Is he, what he's saying?
He's trying to grab my phone. Not sure what he's doing.
Because if I'm talking, he is talking.
I know.
I mean, he's never been this animated with me.
No, I know.
It's really fascinating. But I keep getting this sense of like impending. So this acceleration is with the eclipse season. Again, it's all, the whole cosmic alignment and all of that stuff
Yeah,
that's been happening. It's all part of this ascension journey. But
sure.
what I keep and it's actually between the earth and you would just add in here whatever you want, but what I always get is between the earth and the sun, it's like a symbiotic relationship. One feeds the other and they shift and change and lift the earth up, but with it we go as well. But what we're doing is we're in an acceleration period now through this eclipse season, and because we just Lionsgate, which was a shoot off, then we move into the rest of the year, which lines us up for what's going to occur. I'm not one to say something's coming, but something that is going to occur in springtime of next year is what I get, like setting us up for springtime of next year. Now, this might be, most people sit there and think, okay, well, what's the event that's going to happen? I'm like, I don't know if it's material. It's certainly energetic, and we don't know. It may just, something may, we just feel different. So it's whatever manifests out of that, I don't know when, because often that for me, the energy shows up first, right?
Yes, yes.
And then it's got to manifest. I don't know if that's what I'm getting in general. He's
I'm
very active.
I know. I've been really focusing in on this idea, while we just generally accept it's no problem. But, our Earth in our planetary, there is a corresponding moon and sun to every era. Like our Jupiter and Saturn are the first sun and moon. They were the sun and the moon. The first sun and the moon to the first era on Earth. So and then when the next era came forth, they moved to planets, and then I can't remember the second set were the sun and the moon, and then they moved on the third era. So but the Earth was in the center, and at some point, here we are, where the sun is in the center, and we're spinning around it, and we're flying through space. Okay, we're not in the same elliptical or speed that we once were either. So I don't know when that changed exactly or why. I do believe that some of these solar and lunar events that are going on, we're getting that balance back.
Yeah.
Where the sun and the moon are actually governed, or like the masculine and feminine energies for the Earth, and the Earth is back to center.
Okay, but that has to do, this is what they're saying. I think it has to do with, there's this whole idea of another
That might be what split
shift or whatever
I
that.
think that might be what the split is, actually, now that we're talking about it. If you get the Earth back to center, that might be what the split looks like. That might actually
And
be
then that whole alignment comes, there's something there in that.
Yeah, I didn't, because I know they keep saying split, and I keep getting the
I'm seeing
it's not, it's split, it's something else.
As you're talking, I'm getting visuals of the axes and this. It's like a realignment of the
two Earths are actually one larger planet. They're not actually separate from each other.
No, they've always said that. They just use
like
that
they
so
talk
people
about the
can
Arctic
understand.
walls. People are finding on these huge ice walls in the Antarctic.
Yeah.
And they're realizing, they go to the edge of the wall and they're looking, and the Earth keeps going into like uncharted territory that's not included in our so-called globe. They're finding all this more stuff beyond what the Earth is supposed to be, our mapping and our globe and all this stuff. And
okay, I just getting
there can't be two Earths. It's all one. And I'm
no, they've never. Oh, so just to be clear, they've never said that. They use that as a visual representation of the energetic situation we're in, the old energy and the new energy. So there's no physical new Earth showing up that people are jumping.
Right.
It's all vibration and frequency, but they like to use metaphors that people can relate to, right?
Yes.
Like a visual kind of thing. Oh, and the bridge. When we awaken, we move, across to the new Earth energy kind of thing.
Right.
But I do get the pole shift feel. What you're talking about, a realignment, because they keep showing the axes and the Earth, and they're showing the reason. Part of the reason that's happening now, at least is what I'm getting, is with the Schumann stuff and the sun stuff happening. This is like taking it and moving it around in that sense. I know we don't notice that, but there's a movement happening. With I know this sounds nuts. Is this making any sense to you?
I think the more we discuss it and all the different topics that we're kind of like want to touch on, and what you say about it all keeps coming back to this concept. For me now, it's starting to really resonate to one particular concept that
but we're going to experience it differently.
We're
vibrationally.
Yes, I think the vibrationally going to, that's why the Schumann resonance would have to get, I think that we're actually looking at a much larger, like there's so much more than this.
Yeah.
But it'll kind of like almost like open up.
Yes.
And so much like what we consider to be Earth will actually be much more than what we were maybe aware of in a lower vibrational setting. So the more of a higher vibration, like some of the things they talk about once in a while, like animals that have become endangered.
Yeah.
When the Earth starts to vibrate and say, oh, we found this endangered species, somehow we discovered one. We can't believe it. And you look at when that starts happening, that phenomenon is when the resonance of the planet starts to vibrate a little faster, and all these endangered species start to show up again. I'm thinking, okay, that is That
Yeah.
is how we are perceiving different vibrational expressions of our planet, reality, embodiment, that type of thing, especially if you're a extension of the planetary sphere as your embodiment, which there are humans, there's most are.
I just got a weird, I need to share this because it's while you were talking, I was getting this weird visual representation, almost like a strainer, mesh kind of cloth kind of thing, where here's the collective, but and this is vibration though. So frequency and vibration, what it does, I hope I can do this right. As this is coming up, this new frequency vibration, it sieves. There's a sieve. It's like a sieve. Some will come with, others will not. Will stay at the lower vibration.
Yes.
It's a sieve. They keep showing a sieve. I hope I'm explaining this correctly. And
Yeah.
it's almost like it's a sieve they're showing.
Well,
it's a sifting. It's a sifting.
Yes, it's sifting. It's like
The
a
vibrational
reassimilation. Okay,
sifting.
so I also sometimes I see this a lot of what we're doing. I'll see get visuals and I'll realize I'm looking at a periodic table of a kind, but it's more of a energetic periodic table of not just elements of the planet, the way earth elements, but of other like maybe cosmic elements, elements of creation, that kind of thing. And I'll realize, okay, we're looking at some of the elements and then I see something happening with the way they're coming in. I said, okay, I'm watching a large thing in form, matter. I'm looking at a lot of matter go through a process where they're reassimilating into this massive periodic table. So basically they're breaking down matter back into their elemental form. So the matter, and you think about it too, if matter is going to render in a different way as you change frequencies and stuff. So a lot of this,
we're doing it right now. Our bodies
so
changing.
a lot, and they keep talking about spotting black holes, knowing what they do, and I'm like, okay, I think that makes that tracks with what I'm thinking too. So
I got to ask you this because I think this is fascinating. In all of our conversations, he's never interacted like he has with us in this conversation. Do you get, knowing him the way you do you get the sense that he's
very much
validating all this?
I don't know if he's validating or he's what to be. I think he is, yeah. Okay, so he's working with his music therapist right now too. And they're communicating with each other, but he came out of his room where they were and came in here and sat down next to me. And so he could be kind of like he's planted himself.
I just get something's going on there.
Yeah.
Something's going, there's a reason he's joining us in that. So he's communicating with his music.
She shook her head, yes. That's like, well, yes, she's getting the same thing with him, right?
She is too?
The therapist, she is.
You mean getting the same what?
He's trying to communicate something.
Yes, that's what he totally is trying to communicate something. Like, I think he has a ton of knowledge. Oh God, I just got a wave of energy and I have super chills. What I'm getting, he has a ton of knowledge on this topic. Oh God. He has a ton of knowledge on this topic.
Yeah. Well, you think of it, okay, here we're talking about mother energy, and then we're talking about the sun as SUN, but sun also, the sun is almost like a sun also, right?
Right.
And the moon, the feminine, right? So I think there's a lot there's correlations to some of that as well. So the sun energy, the mother energy, right? And the energies that are coming in, like the solar energies that are kind of driving or putting the power into the shift.
Yeah.
I know my son is highly affected by that. So
is his
body is like hanging on. But it's fingertips.
Is his music teacher there right now?
Yes, yeah,
And
she's sitting.
physically there.
Yeah, she's sitting here.
Okay, so she's confirming basically. She agrees that he's trying to communicate.
Yeah, they're typing, writing
Okay.
together.
Okay, good. I just wanted to, because I'm getting energy from him, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm just like, wow. And I can feel it really through here, a lot through here, and then I get this wave of chills.
Yes.
So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's an important part of what we're talking about.
Yeah, very much so. So it's making the connection too. I think that some of these, like I was saying, the more something had been suppressed, the more energy has to come up, and it's like making this connection to the all the different ways you make it, like all the different ways. If you think about it, like you're coming from two directions in a way, all the different ways to make the connections into the deep roots as well as up into the stars, right? So you're the looking, it's almost like sweeping for somebody like a Carolyn or Jennifer or something that you go like they're a way to get through to it because they have connected and kept theirs open enough that they can, right? So you find it's almost like the solar energy is really that's obviously we're out in the sun, right? It's really like searching all of us for the way to get through. So we get a lot of this heavy energy coming through us when we're capable of doing that kind of connection.
Okay, I just got something. Just as you're talking, this is what happens. So I'll just share it because I want to while you're talking. Now it aligns with what we talked about earlier, though, but it's came in during this. Turning it in is what I just heard. Turning it in, that there will be a lot of people that will be turning it in, meaning the life they live. They're just going to turn it in, and they're turning the other, and it feels like it's going to happen fast. And I don't know what that means. I mean, that maybe that's oh, I'm going to go and buy 10 acres, and I'm going to re-farm it or what am I trying to say? Make it a sustainable, proper farming or whatever kind of thing. I keep getting this like people kind of in mass reclaiming in their own way. And maybe that's what we're doing now, but I feel like there's an acceleration of that. But reclaiming, and it has a lot to do with Earth too. I don't know. I don't know. I just had to share that because I just got the words turning it in. I kept seeing people handing off their current life and just going, we're going to go do something different. Going back to like almost a switch goes on.
Well, yeah, there's this is the thing too, like what I was talking about earlier with like the eras that, that they're from one perspective, they're about 26,000 years long, and then a new one. Okay. So in that setup, if you look at it like that, there's a way to organize. It's an organizing principle for a solar system, and what happened within that solar system, for instance, would be those eras, those sun and the moon, all of this. It's a system of organization.
Well, we were forced into reset.
Right. So you would think about, okay, if we have to go and say, okay, we're going to do something different with this, or maybe something happened and we need to go and like almost like a search and rescue, you would use the system of organization for what that solar system to do it, right? You would need to have at least some basis for it being organized in some way in order to interface with it, to either ascend it or to whatever, right? So I think that the solar energies and the lunar energies both are very, very active now to do this. But I think that the lunar is more of the one that's kind of down low, that got the short end of the stick on the suppression part, right?
Well, that's the feminine, isn't the moon feminine?
Yeah, a lot of it is, yeah. So the solars are kind of doing the, this, and the lunar's like, because there's the whole thing about the moon not being real. It's a satellite, right? It's not the original planet. That whether that's so-called true or not, it is the manifestation of that energy, like the feminine or the feminine moon kind of got like disappeared or got repositioned some way where it's not as prominent as it once was. So I think some of the solar energies, the dance that they're doing is with a almost like a imposter feminine, if that makes sense. So I think that might be part of what we're seeing. That's why it's a little bit confusing, you know. Some of the energies they say, like the goddess energies or the really strong feminine mother energies.
Yeah.
And then the way that that kind of a weird distortion that happened in this solar system is, you know, making these very sacred, life-giving, basically creation energies, these, the whatever they're calling it, a sinner, a prostitute, and something like, you know, some of these stories about the very sacred feminine being shed in very,
like, look at Mary Magdalene,
light.
right? Mary Magdalene's great example.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the perfect example of that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's also Adam and Eve, you know, the feminine,
Yes.
and in some, you know, she's a temptress and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
And
you think about
Lilith,
it's skewed.
Lilith is in there too, right?
And Lilith is funny because Lilith, I don't know what you've heard about the story. I laugh.
I don't know much of
I can
anything.
recognize my personality in Lilith, right? So
about that.
What I've heard about that is Lilith was supposed to be Adam's first wife, and she wouldn't conform to like the man being in charge.
Yes,
She's like,
yes, I have.
Hell no, and I start laughing. I'm like,
oh my God,
I think I might be more aligned with that energy than the.
I was, and I was
just laughing. You know, I think that's kind of, you know, it kind of all plays together. But
right.
I think that's what we're talking about with all these lunar and solar eclipses. I think those two energies are trying to rebalance, and they're in this dance or duel, if you want to call it, to get this thing, to get the authentic feminine and masculine back in order.
Yeah. So this is not directly associated with that. It's aligned with this conversation, but what they keep talking about too is this. No wonder they give these metaphors or analogies. I never know which is which, metaphor, analogy. But anyway, point is what they always talk about to me is as we allow ourselves to be, surrender, balance our time, have more open time to just be ourselves, our natural true selves, that allows the natural energy of this journey to join us and for us to be able to not just be on this train of modern life, right? That we're this bullet train. But what they're talking about is they said, this is an organic process that will happen to people. It's an organic, it's just how hard is it going to be for you to actually wake up in this sense? So they're giving me, and now I understand a little bit more as to why they're talking about, and this is such a weird reference point. The cicadas that are underground for 7 years. They always use the cicadas. They're like, oh, you know, they have to churn in there for 7 years, and then they come up, and they're all out. But they're talking about that in the with reference to this being an organic, natural process. Awakening, ascension. The awakening is the natural process, right? Yes. And that's what we're going through as humans. But it is literally part of nature. It is part of nature, is what I'm getting. And it's like, if we could just quit, oh God, goes back to almost your original point. Even though it is valuable and we do get presented with it, is we think we have to keep doing the things and make 20,000 lists of stuff we got to do for the awakening, right? And even though we do need to support our energy bodies and our mental and physical self and all of that stuff, it's about flow. It's about allowing. It's about surrendering. It's about being. It's about finding balance in our life to let that natural organic process occur.
Yes, I think that's right.
Now, the thing is, because of where we're at as a collective, most of us, like me, had to get lightning bolted to wake up, right? Like, I mean,
careful what you ask for.
I did. Well, I mean, basically, that's what happened to me, right? Like overnight. It was overnight. It was literally because he died, and I did have everything happen then, right?
Yes.
The point is a lot of people have to have that big stack because our place to the point where we're not acting in an organic, natural way. Anyway, I
Right.
have to share that because that was flying through me.
It's so funny because we talked about the cicadas and all this stuff with the eclipse happened last year in April, I think.
Oh,
And I was like, and they were bringing that up kind of through you. And I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I, for the first time ever, saw what a cicada is landed on my window screen 2 days ago. And I'm like, what is that?
They're not beautiful.
They're not, I had no idea what they looked
And
like.
they're big.
I could hear them for at least 2 years. I know what they sound like. It's that sound, but I didn't know where it was coming from. I saw it for the first time. So I can hear it. We've been talking about it for 2 years at least.
Oh, God, you're right.
And I just saw one for the first time.
That's pretty weird. And I brought it up again. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
anyway,
yeah, my son's giving his therapist a run for her money. He's throwing everything. He's acting very much like he is in a wants to be, he either totally agrees with me or totally disagrees with me. I'm not really sure.
With what you're talking about?
Yes, or wants to assert his presence into this conversation because
that's what I get. He wants to assert his.
He's doing some stuff that he doesn't ever do right now. So,
but he's got a lot of information. I get more that he's in alignment. I just got that word that he's more in alignment with us. But I think what he's also doing, and I take this for what it's worth, because you know your son better than I do. But what I keep getting is it's more about. Oh, I just got a wave of energy through me. It's more about agreeing with the kinds of times we're in and the intensity around what we're talking about, if that makes sense. Like that's what I keep getting is he's in alignment with us in the sense of, yes, these are important times, but he's also got more information, which I wish we could. That's so interesting.
Well, the funny thing is, how, we talk about, I started having difficulty and then I find you to help me start, trying to figure out what was happening with me. And we look at it in two different ways. If you look at it from the other perspective as our paths came together because part of what I was doing and part of what you were doing happens to be connected. And so here as a manifestation level, we connect by client relationship, right?
Yeah.
But there would have already been things at play that would have brought us even into the same orbit with each other in order to meet, right? So so I know that so you started to not mimic, but started to have some of the same body issues that I had, that I had been talking about. And I think, okay, here we're in some form of alignment from somewhere, coming from two different directions, somehow maybe able to make that tap, like we got it, that big bridge that's going across, that all that space in the center that doesn't seem to be anything actually is something. And it is there to make that connection and make that whole thing change into something else.
Yeah.
So it's not, I see it totally different. It's not like really choosing. All it is it's almost like forcing that thing to get back big, almost like vibrate and get back to what it is, because it's so much more than what we think.
You know what I keep getting on our situations too, and I think more severe than mine, but not that matters. But anyway, it's a similar process. But what I keep getting is it's almost like a bubble bursting. We had to burst that bubble to be able to then expand and be able to hold more space and frequency and vibration for the calling is what I keep getting. And it feels like, it's all a collective thing. What we're connected with here is the collective part of that, and why we have different purposes in that respect. Not everybody's going to have that, but what I do get is by going through that, we then open the entry point for other people to go through their own kind of breakthrough, like, kind of thing. Well, when the pain of the caterpillar coming into the mush and coming into the butterfly. So that's what we went through.
Yes, but you know what I'm getting with my son specifically? I want to say, sometimes I understand why you do this now, because it comes through and I want to forget. What I'm getting about you and this thing that I just did with my son, who's, who's having this reaction right now, you and I, even though I'm in the house with my son right next to him every day, energetically speaking, he needs you to be how he gets energy to me somehow.
Oh, conduit. Like,
He needs you to get the energy that he's sending
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
You need to be the way he's trying to find a way there to
It's a
be
triangle.
a common person where a common individual. I don't mean common like common. I mean in that we both have, that we both can attach to, or both can connect to get the energy through to me that he's trying to send, because he's not getting a direct to me. So
Okay.
he's that's why you feel him so much.
Yeah, I really do.
So I think it's just you're letting through what needs to come to you, and then letting through what needs to come directly to me without hitting you, so you don't have unnecessary difficulties either, right? So
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
makes sense.
so having that ability to connect, to be who you are, where you're able to connect to me and you're able to connect to his as well, or you're, and then allowing those avenues within yourself to clear, even if you don't necessarily have to be, you don't have to take it and give it as much
Because
as you kind of
that
let
all
it go
makes sense.
through, and it doesn't hurt you in the
Yeah,
process,
because
right?
those 2 years I spent, and finally figured this out, 2 years I spent
Yeah,
being able to have energy run over me or
right,
through me and not affect me. And so for things like this and for like and
right.
so clearing and transmuting, but all being that conductor in a sense, if that
Yeah,
or
it's
that
almost
conduit, like a conduit.
remember when I said this, and when it comes to you and you're like, it doesn't feel right, but as light workers, we feel responsible and we'll work it no matter what. And I think maybe that's not the right way to do it. Sometimes I think this is one of those moments where when it feels like it's for you, perfect. When it
Oh,
doesn't
right.
feel like, you allow it to go through you to
Oh yeah.
where it needs to go to.
Oh, yeah, believe me, I've gone through, I know how, yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
you don't fry your own body. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I'm not sure which way I'm resisting or trying to,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like allow the avenue to run if
It's
it
so
doesn't
interesting.
necessarily hit me or my body, but I have the ability to do it. I try to let it run so it can go to the at balance point, to the energies that it needs to balance with.
Yeah.
Um,
So does he, I gotta ask this question. Does he rock a lot or not?
he is right now actually doing that. Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, and I know I picked this up on myself. I was been doing a lot of this
Uh,
as been sitting here because
yeah.
energy.
He's like,
I'm running energy through, and I don't do a lot of that. I mean, energy will make me do that, and I've been doing it. You'll notice if you ever watch the video again. God, there's a gnat. Um, I've been doing that, but
that's the gnat went right in front of me when you said that. You and I are so connected, right? You are connected. What I just said needs to happen is happening. You're rocking like my son, and you saw a gnat at the same time, and now went by my eye. This is crazy business.
did what just went by your eye?
When you said, "Oh, there's a gnat flew in front of my eye right here."
God.
Yes, I know. Isn't that wild?
Something interesting. I've always felt this. That's so intriguing. So he runs, okay, that makes sense.
He went in the bedroom. He does, and you know what the thing is? It's so funny. We were kind of in sync at one time, and we fell out of sync. And I had huge solar energies coming through mine, and something happened where I got solar energy came through, and it kind of like hit, and then it kept going. Like, where the hell? What just happened? It felt like it went down into this huge abyss, just huge abyss, and it went through me, but it kept going, and it was almost like, oh crap, and there I went with it, right? Okay, so it was supposed to just kind of hit me like right in my center, because I'm like in creation mode, and I kind of keep my creations where my womb is basically. And so solar energies are coming in. One comes in, and it didn't stop, it kept moving, and I felt like I went down like a huge water slide with it.
Well, I'm feeling
This
this. That's
huge abyss, okay? And we kind of lost our connection. My son and I lost our connection with each other.
yeah.
So I think that's what he is searching with others
Mhm.
to try to find that middle piece to
Yes.
connect through back to me,
Oh,
like
that
where
makes
you
so much
go,
sense. I'm so
holy
glad.
moly.
I knew I kept bringing this up, and I thought I'm going to drive her crazy because I'm going to keep saying,
No,
I think he's saying something. I think
he,
something's going on here.
he is totally saying
Um,
something. And you're rocking, he rocks. Okay. So he'll sit and rock. And then what I get from that is he has found the two avenues. Like he's found the original one, and he's also found the one that I slid down in and kind of got pulled back. Remember when we had all that information?
oh,
Like
yeah.
you disappeared from everywhere. There was
Oh,
millions
yeah. And I
of
remember back, I was so confused. I mean, I would get it on a certain level. I was so
yeah.
confused. I don't know how I got you through that because it was so, like, that was early days, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
and
my
this
God.
we say early days. Some of this stuff takes years and years and years to come back to the surface, right?
My God. It
So,
was like crazy.
this is how I think it is now. He has found a way to rock to get to the original
Makes
uh,
sense.
connection and to rock and find where it went.
Yeah.
And he does this. He does that all the time, and I feel it. He's oscillating to where we connected before to where he thinks I am now. And when he finds a conduit like you that can help bring it back
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, what I get with him, with his energy, it's fascinating. I want to try to explain this right. It is, it's big, but it's so pure that it doesn't feel like it's a semi hitting you. It's this, it's a, oh, I'm not going to be able to put this into words. It just, it's so big, but it flows into you and somehow it fits. I know that doesn't make any sense.
It's exactly, Carolyn. That's perfect. You
Oh,
said
really?
that.
Oh,
You
oh,
said it's an energy that is so pure and not pure like the driven snow, Angela. It's pure like raw. It is the just essence to its at its most
but
potent, at
yes,
its most potent form with no bullshit, right? That's what I'm talking about. We first started
it's
talking about
unadulterated. They just
unadulterated, yes.
unadulterated.
The very thing we were talking about in the very beginning, it's an energy that's unadulterated that needs to crack you open and you
Oh my
return.
God, we just did a
It's rewilding.
did a
That is the
180. We just did a 180.
rewilding.
We
Yes, we
just
did.
did a 180
We
with
did a
this.
360 back to
Or
the thing.
360. Sorry. Yeah, 360.
No, that's what it is. That's what I
Oh
mean.
my
That
God, that's
that
so
is the
crazy.
rewilding energy. It
Okay.
is just like
Oh
it
yeah,
is brutal. It's a brutalist energy, but it's
that is
pure.
so cool.
It's pure.
And it's driving us back to that pure kind of energy that he has.
That's right. It's how
That's how we're
real
meant.
potential is achieved.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here today. You can check out all my services at purplerainhealing.com. I hope you're doing well in these times. Highly energetic, fast paced. Things are changing quickly, and we're moving into September. I will have that energy update out here in the next week, and we are going to go into eclipse times, which, as we know, oh, they just showed a water slide. So we'll touch more on that in that video. But again, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.